Well, hello there. This is Shane from Shane's Books and Review, and I hope that you are having a great day today. By the way, thank you for stopping by. Today we are going to be talking about Rob Dircks' Gigi Make Paradox, Book 3 of Where the Hell is Tesla. Rob does a very good job with this book, tying it in, and it's not like there's anything any different. We still have our main characters. Nothing has changed in that regard. So Chip and Peter, Bobo, I love some Bobo. Other factions of their life has come into the books, which is only natural. And that's one of the things that I enjoyed most about this book was it wasn't that our heroes are stuck in the ever-present, it's always going to be end of the world if we don't blah 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 blah, and they never have a personal life. No, indeed, our heroes in this book have their own personal lives, and they do their best to keep in touch with each other, but people have got married, there are kids now, and that really plays into this book. It's amazing how well he nailed it. As a father myself, I can relate to a lot of those things from that perspective, and it was really it was off the cuff, but it was on the head of the nail as well, because yeah, there's particular rules that we're supposed to follow, and kids just don't get that. They don't get it at all. Now, with all that said, no, don't you click, don't you move off, because we've got something from Rob to watch now.
Hey Shane and Shane's viewers, how you doing? Rob Dircks here, author of the Where the Hell is Tesla series. And Shane, I heard that you picked up the latest, the one that just came out, the third in the trilogy, Gigi Make Paradox. And I got the hint that you kind of liked it. I hope you did. But what you can see in the video, I'll see along with your viewers how that went. It was an absolute blast to write, as usual, with Chip and Pete. And this time it was a little extra special because Chip and Pete both have their kids involved. Their little 2-year-old daughters, Gigi Collins and Hannah Turner. And boy, those 2-year-olds can cause trouble. So hope you enjoy the book. And then you can look out for the next one, another Audible original. Not in the same series. It's going to be a new standalone in 2020, mid-2020. All right? Talk to you later, Shane. Have a good one.
I'm not going to go into a lot of it because, no, I want you guys and gals to read it. That's why I'm not going to give you a whole lot. But there's a lot of little twists and turns. There's some more back information about Bobo. And also, who knew? Talking dinosaurs. Of course, talking dinosaurs. SCDA. Of course, I try to keep things clean on this channel. Stuff's crazy, don't ask. Yeah, I can do it that way. Sorry, Rob, but I think you'll understand. Anyway, the long of it all is that there's a thing that happens in the beginning of the book because a kid's a kid. They're going to do what they do. And then the rest of the book is kind of trying to undo it, but there's underlying problems in the ITA, and there's underlying problems with the fabric of space and time, and there's underlying problems of a paradox that must fix. But is it one of those things where things are good, things are bad, things are going to come out bad? I don't know. But it was their struggles and their fights to get to the end point of the book that made that so very interesting, and especially from the perspective of Chip, whenever it came to watching his daughter and how she was interacting with these things, and how much of a different type of a structure of life that she was going to have and possibly could have. I found it very refreshing that instead of the author saying that people had a family and then just ignoring that whole thing, Chip's primary drive in this was to get things fixed, to get them back the way that they should be, and get back to home so that he could be with his wife and be with his kid and have a healthy life for his kid. But also there's this device, not necessarily a mechanism, more of a emotional current that I have caught inside of Rob's books and the short stories. Don't forget, he does have his own podcast where he'll release short stories on a fairly regular basis, and I didn't know what to expect whenever I first started seeing those, but like I said, an emotional current where there's a definitive love for life in the stories that he's telling. Let's go back and look at the story, The Wrong Unit, just real quick. And in that, it was essentially about a robot and his boy, or a boy and his robot. I made a video about it. But the story was essentially about love, from the robot to the boy and the boy to the robot. The robot, as he progressed throughout the story, there was a lot of transformation for the robot. He started to reprogram himself without knowing it so that he could handle these things, these emotional pieces that that boy would need. Why? In order for him to grow. And it became the story of the caregiver. It was really well done. I love the way that it wrapped out. But it was because of that emotional undercurrent of the love of life. That was what got me in that story. And then there's also other examples of that. through the rest of his writings if you just go back and you look at them. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy his writings so much, quite frankly. There's something that I said, I think it was in the Ray Bradbury Martian Chronicles review that I looked at that. Something that was missing for me in those books, short stories that got put into a collection. The people in the books didn't care. They didn't care about each other. They didn't care about the outcomes. And sci-fi from the golden age, it was about that. It was about the we can become. You can't become without caring. It doesn't happen. That's a big digression. Would I recommend Gigi Make Paradox? Book 3 from Rob Dircks. I most certainly would. It's a fun ride. If you put all the emotional current stuff that I just spoke about for probably too long, it makes for a very interesting story. I remember whenever he gave us a little tidbit about how the book was going to come out months and months and months ago. I can see where he was coming from with that now. And I see how everything ties into what he said. And that was pretty cool, the way that he went about doing that. And hats off. Well done, sir. With that to the side, the story is strong on its own. So if you were to pick it up and you had never read Where the Hell is Tesla, books 1 or 2, you would be introduced to a quirky sci-fi world where people can walk through a door and go to different dimensions, different places where things are completely not structured to the same physical and physics, the rules of the lives around us that we're used to seeing. It's a beautiful escape for whoever would read it. I encourage you, if you enjoy sci-fi, if you like space, and you like quirky, funny stories that are well thought out, check this book out. You won't be disappointed. I really don't think you will be. Like, share, subscribe. This is Shane with Shane's Books and Review, and I will see you on Monday.